Welcome to our YouTube channel, Mama Chow and Spicy Wonton. This is episode 10, and today we're going to stay in the kind of contemporary time, going along with the 80s theme of living in China just after the open door in mid 80s. And this is a story from one of my distant relatives that Mama Chow will talk about, being a doctor and what it was like under communist China during open door and the challenges with being a doctor and the lack of resources. And it was still communist China at the time. And then we'll also end with how that changed as China, became more liberalized economically and how that affected the medical profession. So with that, I'll turn over to Mama Chow.
Hi, everyone. Before we have talked about we relocate back to Beijing, China in 1985. Since I was grow up in a big family, I have 55 cousins, both from my father's side, mother's side, father's side more. This cousin we are going to talk about is my grandfather's brother's grandson. So he's my cousin. They used to come to our house once a week. His father and bring him because my grandfather really loved this grandson, distant grandson. Okay, he was a doctor. He was a quite famous doctor in the most famous hospital in Shanghai, Ruijin Hospital, or Guangci
Hmm.
Hospital, as a heart surgeon. By then, being a heart surgeon is not any time in the world you go to medical school is not easy. He's
Hmm.
always an excellent student, but he's always very proud, even when I was a kid. So when we were in Beijing in the 80s, he in the 1986, he called me one day. He said, Yuan Yuan, I'm going to Beijing next week for
Hmm.
two very important operations. He did not say what kind of operation. He is coming to Beijing by airplane. The fee was paid by a Beijing hospital. The
Okay.
people invite him. So he said he will have two operations, one on Wednesday, one on Friday.
Hmm.
He will let me know after everything finished because I intend to invite him for a very good dinner in the restaurant.
Hmm.
So he called me on Wednesday night. He said, I'm so exhausted and tired. I have to go down to the cafeteria
Hmm.
to line up with the rest of the hospital staff.
Yeah.
Lots of people just get
A
a
meal.
room,
Yeah. I mean,
get a
that's
meal.
typical. Even here, doctors, they go to a cafeteria, for food.
Yeah,
Okay.
even after so many hours hard work.
Yeah.
Okay, he said, I'm so tired, so I will talk to you end of the week.
Hmm.
He only say one thing: the operation was successful. I don't even have an idea, right? What kind of operation? On Friday later afternoon, he called me again. He said,
Hmm.
"I'm coming. I'm coming to your apartment, and I will tell you the detail."
Okay.
And when he arrived, he told me the both operation was a pioneer in China. Is
Hmm.
both for heart transplant. Wednesday was successful. It's okay. But Friday was total failure. I said, what
Hmm.
happened? What happened? He said, this heart, the fresh heart
Yeah.
coming from
Prison
from
and jail.
prison, in jail,
Yeah.
prison, from the one the prisoner going to be executed.
Mm.
So they are using his heart to give to this new the patient. My cousin said he had two requests. One is tell the prison the patient's the blood type. The
Yeah.
second, he requests to see the donor, what
Hmm.
it looked like.
Yeah.
The prison said, no, you cannot see the donor, but we will guarantee give you a very good heart.
A strong
That's what they
heart.
said. Strong heart. So there's nothing he can do, right? So Friday, he was waiting. Finally, the heart arrived.
Uh-huh.
And when the fresh heart landed to his palm,
Uh-huh.
He said,
You
"Oh my
mean
God."
not landed when they gave it to him, and
Yeah, he put it in the car.
he held it in his palm. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So he said, "Oh my God, go holy shit! It's not gonna work." That's what happened. He said, "This heart is too big because the patient is a small bill. Oh man,
Yeah.
apparently the donor is a strong guy
A
to
big
do
guy.
this. Big guy.
So in somebody's stupidity in the communist or system or hospital, in their stupidity, they decided to give them, they thought a strong heart
Yeah, it's good for
is
everybody."
good without thinking about the size of the patient. Okay.
So he put the heart into the patient's the heart.
He had
The
no
heart,
choice. He had to do
no
it.
choice. The
Yeah.
pumping beautifully, pump, pump. But unfortunately, they cannot close the chest
Yeah.
because the body is too small. So the result is the patient died.
Right.
Like you said, stupidity, naiveness, policy, blame on who? It's very sad story.
Yeah.
So he said that there's nothing he can do, and we have a good dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, but good thing is, they will be published the incidents, like glory story, the heart
Oh,
transplant successful
yeah.
on a paper. So next day, the paper shows the story.
Mm-hmm.
But fortunately and unfortunately, his face is on the paper, but not in front row. In the back row, we can see
Okay.
the face, but in the front, the the chief secretary,
Mm-hmm.
party secretary,
Yeah.
standing high with a white robe,
Mm-hmm.
sounds like look like he's the chief surgeon. But by the end, there's one thing is good: there's no bribery. They did not start a bribery yet in
Okay.
the 80s.
Yeah.
So he only get a treatment uh, airplane,
Mm-hmm.
normal salary,
They
no
only
bonus, anything.
paid for their air flight, you know.
Just air flight in a
So
hotel.
just to back up, it was on the newspaper because they were advertising this successful heart transplant. It was, I guess, the
Yeah,
among the first of the kind in the country or something that your relative performed, and that's why it was on the front page news, if you will.
yeah. Okay. Sometimes you say, "Oh, this doctor is no good," but you have to consider condition. What kind of condition there is, right?
Yeah.
So actually, he went to U.S. I remember the Denver
Mm-hmm.
medical school to learn,
Okay.
not learning the surgery, but learn how to operate advanced machinery, which they are going to import from
Okay.
U.S. to China. And later on, because the economy door open, economy blooming, the bribery is going to be very serious. Under table, above table, everywhere. He did not he did not see that. He saw the bribery. He did not get bribery money, but I that's what he told us. I
Yeah.
don't know whether yes or no.
Well, I
The
mean,
pri-
we know it's probably true because you also witnessed corruption and bribery in China. That's a separate episode. So,
yeah,
but your distant cousin here said that after the economy opened, after mid 80s, maybe it's 2000s or 90s, then there was more bribery in the medical profession too.
yeah. Even nowadays, even now, the
Yeah.
hospital, you can say bribery, or you can say it's a bonus, or you can say reward. You have to put the money into the red pocket. You
Yeah.
give to different people different money, so you can get a good care. You can, in order to get a guarantee for a seat, or for not
Yeah.
seat, for a bed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's
anyway,
not allowed in the US. That's illegal. I mean, they prohibit that, you know. Yeah.
the U.S. different system to different
Yeah,
people.
it is a different system, but I can tell you, we go to ER, we can't just give them cash and be like, "Hey, give me a bit." That's not gonna work. That's not gonna.
But with different insurance system, U.S. provide different service. Put it this way, but in Canada, everybody say,
Yeah, maybe this is a separate discussion. I would say yes and no.
yeah.
Sometimes you get the same insurance, you get the same service with zero insurance, actually. If you tell them you have no insurance, you pay less and you get to see the same doctor. So it's very different. That's a different story. Different story, Mama Chow.
Okay,
I have to correct you. This is a different story. So
okay.
anyway,
But now,
so this is the basically we're wrapping up this episode basically showing this doctor his experience from um how do you say this ignorant communist medical care system to
before. Yeah,
how he evolved, and then he ended up prospering after the economy opened. He sold his property, right? And he did really
yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah. He's in the senior home now. He's
Yeah.
in 90s. Yeah,
Yeah, he did well.
he did
So anyway, so that's it, the nice story. Kind of a funny, ironic, sad
kind of sad. Yeah.
story. Um, but yeah, that wraps up episode 10. And then, the next episode, we're still deciding. We might go back to the future with about a story about, you know, Zhou Shanpei, or we stick to modern era China. There's a lot of stories from Mama Child's memoir. So with that, goodbye for now. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.